I guess. Hello, world, huh? Well, thank you for being here today. Yesterday, I confirmed that I had decided to become a professional golfer. I did this because I wanted my final round as an amateur to be in the U.S. Amateur Championship, which was a day that I will always remember and also treasure for the rest of my life. Several weeks ago, I spoke with some very special people, my parents, and told them that after a frustrating and painful process, that I was struggling with the decision to become a professional golfer. Then I spoke with a very few close friends whose advice and counsel I trust and respect, and told them of my thoughts. The reactions of both my parents and friends were similar. They asked serious questions and offered their views. Then after heated debate, especially with my dad, told me they would fully support any decision I made. As you probably know, my parents are very special and unique people. They have raised me well and with love, respect, discipline, and understanding, and I truly believe have taught me to accept full responsibility for all aspects of my life. Their teaching and love will continue to guide me as I enter the world as a professional golfer. I am pleased that I will be on hand to share this phase of my life. I love you both for all the love and respect and sacrifices you have made for me, especially for your support of this very difficult decision. Without you both, I could not have possibly have achieved and grown as I have. You're the best. My commitment to you to do everything in my power to continue to make you proud of me, remembering and relying on the things you taught me. As you in the media know, this has been both an exciting and difficult year for me. The excitement developed from my continued attendance at Stanford and by virtue of winning the third U.S. Amateur Championship, playing in the Masters, the U.S. Open, and the British Open. The difficult part arose out of the need to deal with the question, should I become a professional golfer? And more importantly, when? Your speculation kept the issue in my mind, which created continuing pressure, but also helped me grow and think through all aspects of the decision before making it. Now that it has been made, I hope you will respect and understand how difficult it was and treat it as such. I truly enjoyed my time at Stanford. I thank the administration, staff, student body, coach, and teammates for the part each played in making attendance a growth experience in my life. I sincerely regret that this phase of my life will be put on hold. Also, as I move from amateur ranks to that of professional, I would like to give special thanks to several organizations which made major contributions to my development as a golfer. First, the Southern California Junior Golf Association allowed me to play as a 4-year-old through the age of 13 at some of the best country clubs in the area. This permitted me to compete and play on quality golf courses at a very early age. The American Junior Golf Association, a super organization, for continuing my development on great golf courses. Stephen Hamblin and his group provided national forum for my growth. Next, the USGA. The chance to compete for a national championship both at the junior and amateur level will always be a highlight of my life. Last but not least, thank you, Stanford University, for giving me the space to broaden my horizons and expand as a person both academically and as a student athlete. On occasion like this brings to mind many individuals who have been important and made vital and significant contributions to my life. It's important to thank them, tell them that I feel I am ready to deal with the challenges ahead, and ask for their continued support. I'm not sure how well or how long I can respond to your questions, but I will do my best. Thanks. And who will ask the first question?
We need to have them on mic, so when you raise your hand, we'll bring the mic to you.
Can you tell us what was going on in your mind on Sunday when you won the amateur title, and what role did that play in your decision to turn pro?
It played a vital role. Going into the amateur, I knew that, I would make a decision to turn pro after the amateur, one way or the other. Should I or shouldn't I? What was the question. And I knew that after I'd won, there's really not much to achieve in amateur golf. Something no one's ever done. I've won 3 U.S. amateurs in a row, which makes it 6 USGA events in a row. So I felt like it was time.
Tiger, if you hadn't won, would you have turned pro anyway? And the second part of the question is, what's your greatest misgiving? What's the one thing you might, if there are any regrets about turning pro at this point?
First part, depends how well I would have done in the tournament. If I would have shot 80-80, I don't think I would have turned pro. But that wasn't the case. I finished medalist, which was awfully good, I think, and played well in every match, except for the Corval match, which I had 7 bad holes to start off the match with. That's it. So that did play a vital role. But the second part to your question is, will I have any regrets leaving Stanford? Yes, I will. And that will be leaving some of my best friends. I can't hop over to their place at 11 o'clock at night and hang out with them. That won't happen. We can't listen to music and chit-chat and shoot the bull at any time. That I will miss. But then again, I know my friends will support the decision I made, and they will always be my friends.
Right here, to the right. Tiger, what is your goal for this week? What would make this a successful tournament for you?
A victory.
Nothing less?
In my life, I've never gone to a tournament without thinking I could win. I've explained that to you guys before, but that's just the mindset I have. Each and every tournament, I go there to try and win. Something I've always believed in and always will.
Tiger, Roger Twibell from ABC Sports. Mm-hmm. You talked about your plan for this week, but what goals have you set for yourself for your PGA Tour career? Because I know you had goals for yourself for your amateur career. Have you given that much thought?
I do have my goals. Obviously, just trying to make the tour. But anything more specific than that, I can't share with you because those are just my personal things. I don't share with anyone my goals. That's just me.
Tiger, not many people begin with a news conference like this. You've already gotten a feel just from this Pro-Am on what the attention's going to be like. How are you going to keep your head on? That's what a lot of people say, that you'll go as far as you can keep your head in the game. How are you going to do that?
How am I going to do that? I'm going to play it one shot at a time, and I have one hell of a good time.
Judy Steffes with WISN Radio. Now that you've entered the pro circuit, what do you think is your strongest point, and what do you think is the point that you have to work on the most?
Well, I think my strongest point is my mind. I've always felt that. I think I proved that in my U.S. Amateur. I just played in last week. The ability just to hang in there. But part of my weakest attribute is just I don't have the experience out here. I don't know where to stay, what restaurants to eat, so I'm going to have to stick with McDonald's or something like that. Something greasy. But, that part I don't know too much about, so I'm going to have a tough time with that. And some of the pros here I've already shared with me some of their experiences coming out here, so it's been great.
Yeah, Tiger, what's your biggest fear about turning pro and getting on tour full time?
There really was no fear because the decision was made so thoroughly and thoughtfully that there really was no fear because it was the right decision. If I would have made it on a spur of a moment or on the whim, it would have been a different story.
Tiger, Rich Henkel's News Channel 8 in the Quad Cities. You've had your share of sponsors exemptions. That's made the rise to becoming a professional a lot easier than it has for a lot of other amateurs. Your response to the Quad City Classic, the Greater Milwaukee Open, and some of the other tournaments that have allowed you to play.
Well, I've been very fortunate. My accomplishments in the past have enabled me to be lucky enough to get these exemptions. Not too many people have that opportunity, and I'm very fortunate that these tournament stops that open up their doors and let me in to try and play and make some money.
Tiger, Chris Collins from CBS here in Milwaukee. Can you talk to me about your broad appeal? You appeal to a group or groups that probably have hardly been associated with the game of golf, and now they come out to see you, basically. Could you talk about your broad appeal? Kids, African Americans.
I think the broad appeal probably comes from the fact that there really aren't a whole lot of minorities in the sport of golf. Unfortunately, the past and the history of golf has happened, but that's not the future of it. The future of it lies in organizations such as what John Merchant and my father here are heading up, the National Minority Golf Foundation, and they're going to help minorities get into golf, and I'm going to do the same thing. That's one of my goals, and it's something that should happen, and hopefully with the help with organizations and golf clubs, this will happen.
Scott Abley, Sports Radio WAUK here in Milwaukee. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, a lot of rumors regarding large endorsement contracts. How much added pressure is that on you this week and in the upcoming weeks?
The nice endorsement contracts, that is a nice thing, but I haven't seen any check in the mail yet, so currently I'm still broke. A lot of people around me can attest to that. I'll give you a great story. Last night we went out to dinner, and they're telling me I'm pro now. I should pick up the tab, and I pull out these $25 gift certificates I picked up. So, truthfully and seriously, it is awfully nice that I've had the opportunity to have such endorsements like that.
And to follow right along with that, how much does the money play into your decision to turn pro?
It wasn't about money. It was about happiness. Whether time was right and how happy am I? And that was the deciding factor. I know my golf game was good enough, but am I going to be happy out here? Is the time right? Am I ready? And the answers all pointed to yes.
Tiger, Dan Needles from WISN TV Milwaukee. Most rookies get an entire season to try to crack the top 125 or to get the win. You've got maybe 7 events. Are you prepared to, if the possibility comes up, to play the Nike Tour next year, to go through qualifying school this winter? Do you think it might come to that, or are you confident that you can qualify in the short amount of time left?
7 events, is a short amount of time, true. But then again, if I don't, I have Q school, just like everybody else had to go through to get out here. And hopefully it won't happen. It won't come to that. But you never know. And maybe next year I may be playing somewhere else. I don't know. But I know I have 7 events and Q school this year. So those are 2 chances to get on tour this year. And hopefully I will take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, the endorsement money that we're hearing about, and the figures are never exactly accurate or anything else, but nevertheless, they're the kind of figures that a lot of people on this tour, of course, aspire to. Do you expect that to affect your reception among the other pros at all?
No, I don't. I have a lot of friends out here already. I'm sure that there might be a little animosity, but that's only natural. It's like that in every sport. It's like that in every workplace. But I have enough friends out here that I've made through my time that I've played out here on my brief occasions that they've accepted me for who I am and as a person, and that's all you need.
Tiger, Jim Lickey with the Associated Press. Aside from experience, what specifically are you going to work on adding to your game as a professional? I mean, shot-wise, what do you feel like you might still be needing to work on?
As always, you can always get better in every facet of the game. I can drive it better. I can drive it straighter. I can hit my irons closer to the hole. I can hit it with more precision, and obviously I can putt better. You make more putts. So there's a lot of room for improvement, and being out here on a weekly basis with perfect blot of balls and a nice facility to practice, hopefully these things will happen. It's a little different than college, where you get these ratty balls, or you get the hit and you don't know where they're going. But it'll be a lot of fun.
Tiger, the pros talk about the enormous difference between playing amateur and playing pro. How do you see yourself overcoming that kind of psychological barrier, in a sense?
Well, don't forget, I've played in a lot of tournaments as an amateur out here. I don't know what the exact number is. It's probably been printed already somewhere, but I've played enough. I've played in 6 majors already, which, I don't know, some of these people out here at this week may not have even played that many. So I've had the opportunity and been blessed and fortunate enough to play in these events and learn and grow. And a lot of these players that I've gotten to know very well have kind of taken me under their wing and shown me the ropes a little bit. So to answer your question, it'll be a lot easier than the average amateur entering professional golf because of the opportunities I've had in the past.
Hi, Tiger. Obviously, what you're going through this week is something you hoped and planned for many years. Did the feelings that you anticipated match what you've been feeling this week since it's happened?
What's the question again?
Has what has happened so far lived up to what expectations you might have had for many years thinking about this moment, this week?
I think more than anything, it's been a little hectic, obviously. But in general, it's everything that I've looked forward to. I'm out here now. I'm hitting, as I said, some nice balata balls out there. I get a perfect practice green to putt on. A lot of people come out and support you. I mean, what can you ask? What more can you ask for? I even got a courtesy car, And when I'm not old enough to exactly rent one, but I still get one, which is kind of nice. So, it's more than I ever dreamed of and wanted. Also, don't forget, I told you, as I explained to him, that I've had a lot of opportunities before to play out here, but haven't gotten these exact amenities, so it's been awfully nice.
Tiger, all the pros talk about not just your strong golf game, but your strong personality. When you have every reason to be arrogant, you're not. How do you remain grounded, and do you enjoy the mobs, the people, and all the attention?
Do I enjoy it? Yes, I do, because it's awfully nice that these people come out and support you, and I guess you could say now for me, my business, my workplace. I guess it would be nice if anybody came out and supported you at your workplace, and it's a nice feeling. And it's also neat when the kids come out and follow you and ooh and ah or shots that aren't too good, but to them, since they're so little, that's to them it's kind of cool. So that part I love, and I think that's very special.
Tiger, have you had any conversations with the pros that are here this week in Milwaukee? Right. Okay. Have you had any conversations with the pros that are here this week in Milwaukee, and if so, what's their reaction been to your decision?
It's been great. Everyone has says, you're ready. Nice to have you out here. Good luck. And basically, they're all pretty much rooting for me, which is which is very nice of them on their parts to do that.